Hey, how you doing?
After that last win where so many players were able to score and be effective, it felt like a real team win. But Chris Finch afterwards kind of talked about how important it was to get Jaden rolling. Why do you think specifically that when Jaden's rolling offensively that's so important?
Yeah, I really think he's like one of the X factors for our continuity and the way our team rolls offensively. He brings a different dynamic that I think not a lot of players on our team can bring. His size, athleticism, his ability to score in all facets of the game, all three levels. It just adds another dynamic that makes us really hard to guard. It allows us to play faster. It allows the court to be balanced. And when he's confident out there doing what he does, it's just just a different vibe for our team completely.
And I know we've talked a lot about Ant's impact on this team and how good he can be, but it just feels like when he has those fast starts that it impacts everybody. Do you feel that from where you're coming from?
Yeah, I do. I think that when Jaden has nights where he's having big nights or just starting off well, I think it allows the pressure to be kind of distributed differently. I don't think Ant and Julius feel so much pressure to have to try to score everything or maybe shoot a couple balls that are contested or something like that. They're just like, hey, Jaden's got it going. Let's find him. Let's allow him to be aggressive. And like I said, it makes our guys who have to do the most, kind of balance out their game a little bit and makes our team a little bit more balanced.
Like Ian was saying after Miami that you guys, at the first Miami game, that you guys paid attention to the game plan and you won. Sometimes you always pay attention. Why is it sometimes a struggle for this team instead of losing a win on a game?
I don't know. It's like my kids. They watch a lot of YouTube and apps and stuff like that. It's hard for them to pay attention to. You tell them to do two things, they might only do one of them and forget about the other one. It's just maybe the day and age of the young players now. So, but there's some that we have to all jokes aside, we have to be better at. We have to be more serious collectively. Obviously it can't be one or two guys that know the game plan or follow the game plan. It has to be all five on the court, on a string, on a nightly basis, and not allowing any of that slippage that can kind of creep in, especially in games that we should feel like we should win.
That's something you guys talked about coming off from Brooklyn and Atlanta, like just getting back to that and just zeroing in, getting on the same page when it comes to that stuff.
Well, yeah, I think that was the main key after Atlanta was we just felt like we were disconnected on that portion of the game. I think guys go out there and they try to do the right things. We play hard, but if we're not doing it, in one beat, one sound kind of mentality, then things are going to be off. Things are going to not feel the same, not going to play with the same energy and on a consistent basis. So I think that Miami game really kind of opened our eyes. Hey, if we just follow the game plan, we do the things that we're supposed to do, stay disciplined, do the small things. At the end of the day, we'll look up and have 10-point leads at the end of the game, and everybody's playing well and in a good place.
Mike, the season is so long. Like, how do you get a feel for when a couple of bad games is just a bad game or two to kind of just absorb and move forward, and when it's like, hey, there are real things that need to be addressed, and we need to kind of snap out of, because every team's going to hit those lulls in an 82-game season, kind of maintaining a perspective on that.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like say we last 2 weeks prior to losing 2 games in a row, we've kind of had some slippage on offensive rebounding and found ways to win those games somehow, and just kind of kept putting the Band-Aid on it, and then the Band-Aid pops off when you play a really good team and they kind of exploit it. It may seem like we've lost all kind of control of what's going on, but it's like, hey, this has been kind of going on even when we were winning. So it's something that we need to try to nip in the bud right now that it's starting to result in losses. We have to try to figure out how to change that right on the spot, because you let that keep lingering, that gash is going to get bigger and bigger, and you're just going to get a deeper hole to pull yourself out of. So it's you just got to find that not to panic, in those situations. That hey, it's something that we've been seeing on film. We've been getting away with it in certain games, and other games you're not going to get away with it. And now that we're experiencing losing, I think it just hits guys a little bit differently, and then starts to the attention to detail ramps up even more.
And like recently, what are you feeling like is connecting the most defensively? It just seems like guys are on a string a lot more the last few games here.
Honestly, it's more of a, the individual aspect. Guys have taken a challenge individually to be better, kind of taking that accountability to be better. I think Rudy's been number one driving force all year. Just when he's playing well, when he's doing the things and talking, communicating for us, it kind of gives us all confidence to be a better version of ourselves out there and play a little bit harder, pick up a little bit, further up the court, contest, rebound, all that stuff is these secondary actions that sometimes we may not always get accomplished. But when we got guys like Rudy, Jaden, and Nas, everybody's just paying so much attention to that defensive side. It gives us all confidence.
Mike, going back to Jaden, it seemed like in the third quarter against that Miami game, when you checked in specifically, you got like 3 plays in a row running through him, kind of you setting him up, the first of them. Is that something you're seeing on the bench of like, hey, I got to get this guy the ball a couple times, or is that like a coaching adjustment, or where's that come from?
No, I told him right away, I said, all right, some of the guys are out the game right now. I'm going to you the next 4 or 5 times. We do our little backdoor play every now and then. We get in the game together. And I said, anytime you get an opportunity and you look at me, I look at you, you make eye contact, go back door. I'm gonna try to find you, just try to get you going a little bit, and be aggressive. I just want to be aggressive while I'm out there because I know how important he is to the team. I know how important he is to our success, going forward. And he's had such a great year, and want him to continue to do it.
That I feel like when people talk about like point guards, especially now in the NBA, a lot of it is just like scoring. How can they get off the dribble? But how important is that kind of like emotional intelligence side of like, hey, Jaden hasn't really touched the ball since the first quarter. Like we got to get.
Mike, nobody cares. Hurry up! I'm trying to get JC to the
Okay.
guys.
I wish Joe could play with me some more. That'd be awesome to be on the court with him. But no, I think it's important to still have that that maturity level, that awareness. I think that a lot of teams may lack that. A lot of people just run fast and play, as fast as they can, move the ball and just try to score. But you still have to have your pulse in the game and feeling out who's been engaged, who hasn't been engaged, what you need from certain guys, and how we can try to get the most out of them while you're out there. And that's been the point guard's job forever. So it's been my job since I've been 4 years old. So I've gotten decent at kind of figuring out when that time is and who needs that attention at certain times of the game.
A little off topic, but for 2 years I've been watching you beat everyone on this team. I think I saw Bones get the best of you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is that like he has to beat you 2 in a row before you start carrying his bags?
We just talked about it. He didn't show up for the first part of it. I was like, "Where you guys going to win and leave?" You know what I'm saying? So I got him today. I got my title back, but Bones is the only one that's really beaten me. So I'm a little worried when he steps up to the plate, but everybody else, I'm comfortable.
Guy gets 1 bucket in a game, and now he's trying to
Right.
control everything. 1 bucket.